Hey guys, Megan here, and time for another book review. Today I'm going to be talking about School's Out Forever by James Patterson, and this is book 2 in the Maximum Ride series. So, there's not much I can say about this book without going into spoilers. So I'm just going to say it's awesome and I loved it a lot. I loved it just as much as book 1, and that is saying something because I really liked the first book. So, yeah, I like it a lot. I'm loving all these characters. I think they're all awesome and funny, and I found myself laughing aloud quite a bit at some of the dialogue for this book. So I'm going to give the non-spoilery people a chance to click away now, and yeah, spoiler time. So we pick up pretty quickly after where we left off. The flock are flying to Washington, D.C. because due to some papers they found in the Institute, they found all sorts of addresses that are linked to their names, and they think maybe these addresses are where their parents are. So they want to look into that because they want to find their parents. But unfortunately, on this trip, they of course have to run into some erasers. And these aren't just normal erasers. These erasers have wings now, so erasers can fly. And that's a really terrifying thought. Because, you know, the flock are kind of safe in the air, you know, unless erasers have helicopters or really long-range weaponry. Flying around was like one of the safest places for them. So, while they are fighting, Fang gets hurt really bad. Ari does a huge number on Fang, and of course, before the flock can really do anything, a human jogger, you know, spots this, like, 14-year-old kid bleeding out on the beach, and does the one thing, you know, anyone else would do, and that is call 911. And the flock don't really have a huge choice here. Either they can get the hell out of there and Fang will most likely die, or they can take the risk and go to the human hospital and have them treat Fang and find out about the whole wing thing. Of course, you know, they pick the smart choice and bring Fang along to the hospital, and of course all of them are like really on edge, especially Max. Because, you know, their whole secret's gonna be blown out of the water now, and who knows what could happen once these doctors and stuff find out about, you know, them having wings. The FBI gets called. Because, you know, clearly this is something you want the government involved with. So Max is even more on edge because these FBI suits are here, and all the other kids and her are being really tight-lipped about, like, where they're from, how they became this way, who their parents are. It's like, yeah, we can't really answer that, guys. We don't even know who our own parents are. So they're being, like, really sneaky and not honest with the FBI. Not that I can blame them. They haven't really had anyone they can trust their whole lives. You know, growing up in dog crates and then finding out the one person who cared about them, Jeb, was really a traitor. So, you know, they have trust issues. So Fang ends up being alright, thank goodness. And one of the FBI people, whose name is Ann Walker, takes the kids to this awesome, like, house of hers, and she basically looks after them. You know, the house is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and there's a huge amount of land for the flock to, you know, chill out and fly around without worrying about being, like, seen. And they're really liking this freedom. And Max is going along with this because she understands that, yeah, we need some R&R, let's take a chance to regroup. And they spend quite a while with Anne, and she eventually enrolls them in school. And Max is kind of not liking this. She actually doesn't like Anne too much, because she feels Anne is taking her job. It's her job to take care of the flock in her head, and she's been, like, looking after the younger kids her whole life. So having this, like, strange woman that she isn't even sure she can trust, you know, just kind of butting in, she's not too happy about that. And like in the last book, we're switching points of view. It's a lot. Mostly we focus on Max, but, you know, sometimes we're seeing things from Fang's point of view. Once or twice I think we go to Iggy's point of view, Angel. We even go to Ari's point of view a little bit, which I found really interesting. We see more things from Ari's point of view. We find out that Max has a clone, and we see things from her point of view a little bit too. We find out that Anne is working with the school, which is really terrifying, because she's in the FBI, but she's working for the school. At least I'm assuming the whole FBI thing isn't a lie. And Max, thinking ahead, manages to have some supplies and stuff set aside in a hidden place for if something like this to happen. She gets the flock out of there. They do find Iggy's parents, and they take him in, and for a while he's no longer with the flock, which was sad. I actually teared up at that when Iggy went to go live with his parents. But his parents were unfortunately too good to be true. Apparently, when they found out that he was not completely human, they want to sell his story to the press and basically make him a sideshow freak. And Iggy, not wanting any of that, is just screw this, I'm out of here, and goes back to find the flock before they leave Anne's. So, they don't know what to do now. They still think Max is supposed to save the world, and there's some consideration on whether they even want that. Why should they care? Why should Max have this responsibility thrust upon her shoulders? She's only 14! So yeah, they got a lot of that going on. We find out what purpose Max's clone has. Her purpose was to kind of replace Max, because she's not fulfilling her mission. What better way to replace her than with a clone of herself who is less attached to the flock? Because that's Max's big weakness, her affection for the flock. You know, the school scientists, many of them feel that they are holding her back. So they want to take out Max, replace her with this clone, and eventually get rid of the rest of the flock. So Max gets kidnapped and replaced with her clone in the middle of the night while everyone else is sleeping. And Max is kept away. Fake Max is, playing along, pretending to be Max, and breaks them into this organization called ITEX. And ITEX has been, everywhere in the flock's life. It is this huge, huge company that has its hands in literally everything. And this company also has something to do with the reason why she needs to save the world. So yeah, the plan was for Clone Max to lure the flock into ITEX and have them get taken out. And then she'll take on one to keep saving the world. But that doesn't work. Max gets free and is just you're an imposter. Most of the flock find out that Clone Max is an imposter pretty quickly, because she was not acting like Max at all. And, there's this huge fight between Max and Clone Max, and Max wins, because she's Max, and the other scientists want her to take the clone out, because there can only be one Max. And Max, being really awesome, is no, I beat her, so I'm obviously better, but I'm not going to kill her. I'm not going to stoop to your level. If there's only supposed to be one Max, why the hell did you create two of us? That's your problem, not ours. So I'm done. I'm done being your puppet. See ya. So we end the book with that, and Max going off, getting the flock somewhere a little safer, and they're trying to regroup and figure out what the hell their next move is. So yeah, this book was really action-packed. I loved it. I was never bored during it. It was a real page-turner, and it was a pretty quick read considering the length. Considering how long it looks, it's a pretty quick read. I've read it in a few sittings maybe, and it was hard to put the book down during each of those sittings. I need to keep reading. So yeah, love this series. I can't wait to pick up Saving the World and other extreme sports. And yeah. That will be it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time. Keep on reading, my fellow book addicts. Keep on reading.